Hey, it's Mike again. Let's talk about labor shortage, income equality. Um, let's look at the fact that um, the tax cuts for the wealthy, and it was a tax cut for the wealthy. I mean, 90%, a 10% of the country got the biggest amount of benefit out of that plan. Now, the American Rescue Plan 85%, 85% of Americans got a benefit out of that. And the lowest 20% got a boost to their income by 20% due to the different incentives. It cut child poverty in half. I mean, thing is, we have such a huge child poverty rate in America. I mean, that's just really sad. But by all these incentives and all these things in that plan, you know, um, it helped 85% of Americans. Let's think about that. So it was supposed to be checks out to people making under, 150,000 or 120,000, something like that. That means 85% of us live, and that's a good amount of money if you're all the way at that top margin. um, you know, uh, live under that 150, 85% of us. That means 15 live above that. And then 1% live in that $1 billion category, billionaires. And I did this calculations to make 100,000. It's like 8-hour shift would be being paid $36 an hour. No, $42 an hour, I think it was. Something like that. To make 100,000 working 8 hours. Anyway, and then, so that's one thing we need to focus on is that shows the income equality gap. That 15% hold all this wealth, while 85% of us are in this lower category. I'm not saying people making 100,000 and 150,000 aren't doing okay. Usually, unless they live in in certain states, in certain cities. But, that's doing better than a lot. But the fact that this bill helped majority of the country and Republicans voted no on it. They voted no on it, but they also celebrated it, that it was opening up restaurants and stuff like that. And now, I know that was a couple of months ago. I know. And now we have all these restaurants and, minimum wage jobs, having hiring signs everywhere. Well, the thing is, we had a pandemic, if you didn't notice, for a year. So a lot of people had to find jobs elsewhere. So a lot of people found jobs from home, working from home, that made more money and gave them more quality of life, more time at home and things of this nature. And the whole thing is that minimum wage was supposed to increase over time. And the whole thing, people want to argue this, that if we increase minimum wage, the price of stuff will go up. Yeah, it'll go up a little bit, a few cents, 10 cents here. But here's the thing, prices have been going up, and minimum wage has been $7.25 for over 10 years, and prices on everything have been going up. So what's the excuse there? Interesting. So when it's to give more money to people that are struggling, or people that are trying to make ends meet, it's a problem, and price of goods is going to go up. Here's the thing. People have been working from home. They found better jobs. And people have died from COVID. And here's one of the other things. They're all teenagers. These businesses are open during the hours of 8 to 3. So they're not teenagers. Also, remember, like 16 to 18 16 is the age in most states, you can start working at one of these jobs. So unless these places are closed from 8 to 3 Monday through Friday, which they're not. They aren't just meant for some teenager job. And, well, you need to pull yourself from the bootstraps and go to a better job. There are not always those opportunities. There aren't. There's not always a management opportunity. You have to move. You have kids. You have other type of other type of things going on that you can't spend the money to go to college or trade school or something like that. Or it's just that's how your situation is. And you're working, you should be able to make enough to provide for your family. I work a pretty good job, and I'm still scraping by, you know. Um, but anyway, and the other thing I see on this is, well, EMTs. I think it was make $12 an hour, and what you think somebody working at Burger King should make more than them? No, don't. I think that EMT needs to be paid a lot more. I think everybody needs to be paid more than they are. And if we increase the pay of minimum wage workers, we need to increase the pay of other people. And especially jobs where you're supposed to save lives are teachers, which I saw one statistic, 37,000, a year. I'm like, they're supposed to be teaching your kids and helping them advance for the future, and they're basically scraping by or having to have a second job or third job. Still have to grade all your kids' paperwork and buy their own supplies and stuff. These are the different situations that go on, and this is the reason we need $15 minimum wage. I thought it was pretty high, but I looked at it and other countries and several states have it, and it hasn't skyrocketed the price of things. So these arguments are invalid. And here's the thing. When the tax bill Trump passed happened, it was supposed to build more jobs and all this. Yeah, some more jobs were created, but a lot of them spent that money to buy into sell their stock and make more money. Apple became trillionaires, so that's the thing. And rich people, they just keep on building that wealth. The trickle-down economics has not worked. And let's look. My parents' generation, they were able to find a good job and pay was good and able to retire and all that. That type of opportunity isn't around like it was, because these huge companies have paid dirt wages for people and been able to, keep all the money. Now, another plan Biden has is to cut the to tax people making over 400,000 more. Tax them more. People that make that and more. Anyway, this still wouldn't be at the same height that it was before Trump, did the tax cut. So they'd still be benefiting. And my main point on that is that when, I'll use myself as an example. When I get a tax refund, we set aside some for savings, but we also set a few hundred for splurging. People that are on the lower income side are going to spend more money, either on actually being able to pay their bills, which still helps the economy, or buying products, buying stuff for their house, buying important things or dumb things, whichever. It still stimulates the economy. So making the argument, they're going to buy a big screen TV. Why does that matter? They're working. The other thing is the whole unemployment benefits being increased, and that's why they don't want to work. I could see a little bit of that, but at the same time, if you're actually, able to pay your bills and you're not having to sweat your butt off, doesn't that work better? Being able to actually pay all your stuff off? Yeah. That'd be a reason not to be working. I'm working dealing with these terrible customers all the time and still scraping by. Yeah, I would take not dealing with the customers and all that, and not having to worry about rent and all that when I could easily get that check. But I mean, I don't believe that's the way we need to live. I believe we should work and that our pay should match our level of work. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, it's just thought. Sorry if I was rambling. Thank you.